What's going on, guys? Mimic here with another video. In this video, I'll be giving you guys an in-depth deep dive into what the best stats are in the game and what they actually do. I'll be covering which stats you should prio over others based on the class you play, and I'll give you guys an end-game type of stat you're looking for to give you something to strive towards for your character. This and more, but real quick, if you enjoy the content, don't forget to smash the like button. If you want to connect with me in my guild, which I'll be leading in NA, feel free to join our Discord in the description. And last but not least, if you would like to be the first to see new videos released from my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I appreciate all your continued support, and I'm grateful for your time. That being said, let's jump in. All right, guys, so we're on board live here in Throne of Liberty. We're going to be breaking all the stats down for you guys, and I'll be giving you guys a few tips and things like that. Let's jump in. So once you get into your game, you press the letter P. It's going to bring up this little area. Now, you can switch this by clicking this stat details button right here on the left, and it'll bring up all your additional stats that you can go through. But for now, let's start here. Obviously, it's going to show the weapon that you have equipped. If you press the tilde button, it's going to bring up your other weapon here. You can see the stats change right here when I switch. So you can go ahead and do that. Check out what your stats are. Obviously, it's going to show you all the gear that you're wearing and what your inventory's got. It'll give you a brief summary of like the main stats that you've got. And of course, on the left here, it's going to show you your strength, your dex, your wisdom, and your perception. And then it's going to tell you what your IP or what your gear score is right here. Now, what we're really interested in is we're going to click the stat details. Okay, so let's go ahead and click the stat details. And here you can see it's got more in-depth stats here. It's going to tell you what your base damage is, what your max damage is, your attack speed, your range on that weapon. So how far you can be from the enemy before you're not able to strike the enemy. Your base damage, your offhand weapon chance and damage there, and then there's the chance 31, almost 32% that I'll strike with my offhand. Now daggers, just side tip, daggers are the only weapon that have an offhand weapon attack chance. That's one of the perks of using the daggers is when you're attacking. Sometimes the second hand will strike. Let's see if I can get it to strike here. It just did it right there. It just did it again. Just did it again and again. So you can see there with the daggers, you are going to have a chance to strike with the second hand, which is kind of like a double attack there. And those can also heavy attack too, which is nice. Shows your defenses here, range defenses, melee defenses, and magic defenses. Now let's get into the stats, the main stats, how they work, and what I would build early on. We'll also talk about these here. We'll start actually here first, and then we'll transition over here. All right, so on strength, it says here, serves as a source of physical prowess, provides strong defense in addition to increasing your max health, health regen, max damage, and minimum damage. So if you are going to buff your strength, guys, you are going to be getting more health. So your max health is going to increase. Your health regen is going to increase. Your max damage and min damage are also going to increase. Now, the reason you want to go up strength, and this is pretty much for every character is going to want strength, is those achievement effects. You'll see there where it says strength 30, max health 750. So if your strength is at least 30, you're going to get an additional 750 max health, and so on and so forth. If you go to strength 40, you're going to get damage reduction. So you're going to get some nice DR there. It's going to help you live in the fights a little bit longer. And if you take it to 50, which is where I have it, you're going to take advantage of getting that heavy attack chance plus 100. So you're going to get an additional heavy attack chance just by having your strength to 50. And then, of course, if you go to 60, you'll get an additional 900 health. So your stats here are going to be your main build. You're going to build off your stat page when you're theory crafting. You're going to build off this, knowing that, okay, I need to get to 50 strength, I need to get to 50 dex, I need to get to 40 wisdom, and I need to get to 50 perception. You're going to be able to build the items, and you're going to be able to buy the items that have those stats on them so that you can get to those stat levels, because the game itself will not give you enough stats to get to those levels. You have to supplement it with items. You can see here on the Liquorious Thorny Edge, which you get from the Ants dungeon early on, is going to give you 7 wisdom and 6 perception. So that 7 wisdom is included here. That 6 perception is already included in this 40. But the cool thing about getting the weapons and the armors that give you these stats is that you can allocate those stats that you would have spent in those to another place. So that is why it's important to know where you want to go with your stats before you even start building anything, because as you build your armors and weapons, you're putting resources into them that cost you a lot of time and cost you a lot of growth stones. So before you start building your character, just know where you want to go first and then build your items off of that. So that's how strength works. We're going to move to dex. Dex here serves as a source of nimbleness, increases quickness and critical attacks in addition to evasion and max damage. So dex is going to give you attack speed. It's going to give you more crit. It's going to give you higher evasion, and it's going to give you max damage. So dex is going to definitely want to be one of the spots that you want to increase if you are a damage dealer. And you can see there, dex 30 is going to give you critical hit plus 100. Dex 40 is going to give you bonus damage 15, which is just a base flat bonus damage. Dex 50 is going to give you an additional 5% movement speed, and dex 60 is going to give you an additional critical hit 120. So dex is very nice. You can see there, you're definitely going to want it high or as high as you can get it. There's some people that main like that, you know, they get 60 dex just to have way more crit. You can do that if you choose. Now wisdom is going to serve as a source of mental prowess, increases your max mana and mana regen, and additional cooldown abilities and max damage. So wisdom is going to give you cooldown. So if you're going up a cooldown type of spec, you're going CDR, you may want to get more wisdom there. You can see there, wisdom 30 is going to give you max mana 750. Wisdom 40 is going to give you debuff duration minus 5%. Wisdom 50 is going to give you some more cooldown speed. So you're going to get some more cooldown if you need cooldown. And then wisdom 60, if you get it to 60, is going to give you an additional 900 mana, which is nice. And then perception, this one's a big one here, is going to give you, serves as a source of insight and awareness, heightens awareness during battle, increases the accuracy of attacks, CC effects, enhances time boost abilities, and increases max damage and min damage. Now, perception is very important, guys. I know mine's a little bit lower. I should be around 50 at the minimum, but I haven't maxed it out. But you're gonna want perception. You can see there at 30, you get 100 hit, which is nice. At 40, you get buff duration 5% increase, and then at perception 50, you get an additional 7.5% range. So if you're going like a bow staff and you want more range on top of having the bow staff, you're definitely gonna want to get perception to 50 because you're gonna get an additional 7.5%, which is massive. And then if you can get it to 60, you'll get that hit 120. But rather than just showing you guys, let's go ahead and reset the stats here. We're just going to reset. Now we're reset. You can see I've got 49 stat points here and all my stats reset. And you can see here when I hit strength, you can see what changes. My melee defense, my range defense, my offhand chance, my minimum damage, my health, and my health regen. So as this goes up, you'll see those numbers changing. Look at my max health right here. Look at my max health. As I'm going up, my max health is going up. Okay, so I could take this, I could spend everything on this and get to 60, but you can see here, that doesn't make a lot of sense because once you get to a certain amount, like right here, every time I'm going up 1, it's taking 2 points of stat points to get me up the next level. So that's why it's important to get weapons that are going to give you that additional stat. And you can see here, Dex is going to give you crit, going to give you evasion. Okay, going to give you attack speed, damage, offhand. So look at my Dex. Let's look at my evasion go up here when I use my Dex. See, going up there. So Dex is going to affect that. Wisdom, I know, was at 30. It's really just for mana and cooldown. I get a little cooldown there, and the rest is in perception here, which is going to give you that hit. Okay, so. No, I'm just going to put it here at 44. That is how those stat points work. So as you're leveling, guys, as you're playing the game, as you're getting skills and weapons that are giving you, like this soul here gives me 10 dex right here. Just on this weapon, +9 purple gives me 10 dex. So that's 10 points here that I didn't have to allocate to dex because I'm naturally getting it through my weapon. Okay, so go do yourself a favor, look at the weapons in the game and try to theory craft how you actually want to play the game and and how you actually want to build your champ, because every armor, every piece of armor in the game, it gives you different stat points, and that's going to massively affect how you actually build out your stat page and how end game your character is going to play. So let's kind of transition here and talk a little bit about hit. What is hit? Increases the hit rate of melee attacks and chance to apply CC effects with melee skills. If your stat is higher than your target's melee evasion for every 10 points of difference, hit rate increases about 1% as the difference increases, efficiency decreases. So in short, I don't want to keep the video too long. All of the stats work like this. Okay. So it's a difference between your enemy that you're attacking and what your base stat is. For instance, if the person that I'm attacking doesn't have high evasion, okay, and my hit is higher than that person's evasion, then I have a chance to hit that person. If that person's evasion is higher than my hit, then there's a very good chance that that person is going to evade most of my attacks. Okay. Now, I can't tell you the sweet spot of what to build. I can tell you what I've seen, but I can't tell you how to build your character. It's going to depend on what your meta is in your server. Okay. In my server, early on, it was evasion. Evasion was very easy to get. So a lot of people were stacking evasion. So early on, it was worth maxing out perception because you needed that hit to hit the people that had 1800 evasion. Okay. But as time passes, there's a lot of tier 2 gear that has evasion on it. Okay. So what a lot of people are building is actually endurance. They're actually building endurance now as late game. So early on, it's going to be evasion. Late game, it's going to be endurance. That's how it's going to be. At least that's what I saw in my server. Your server may be different, but early on, you want to stack hit. Early on, you want to stack evasion. Anything you can find in the armor shop or accessory shop, you want to grab that. So let's go see here and see if anything in green has evasion. You can see here we get nothing. We get nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. I know there's some items that do have evasion. Those are the items like right there, melee evasion. This would be a good item to get if you're still early on and you're green and you're like trying to PvP. You want anything with hit and evasion. This green item leveled up is going to give you more evasion than what's showing there because those stats increase as you level the item. So this is a really good item. It's got both hit and melee evasion. I would rather take that helm than this helm. This one only has mana regen. Okay. You're going to want something that's got hit and melee evasion, something like that. Okay. And it's the same thing with the blues. If you see something in blue that's got hit or melee evasion early on, I'm talking early in the game, guys, the first 2 or 3 months that you're playing the game, you're going to want to get that rather than getting a base stat that says dex. I would rather have the evasion or the hit. Like this is good. If you're going up a hit build, this has 40 hit and it's going to give you max health. This is a decent mask early on. Okay. And this has hit 85 hit right here. Go for these early on before you choose anything that has like critical hit or anything like that, like strength, stun chance. You don't need that early on. You need hit and you need evasion. Like this is a good evasion mask right here. It's got 70 base at level 0. Okay. As you level though, you're going to want to transition off of that into getting the better gear sets because the better gear sets have all of it. The better gear sets are going to have, they're going to have hit, they're going to have evasion, but they start transitioning into getting more higher levels of the base stat, like perception, more higher levels of strength. You can see here the Slaughter's Collar. Look at this necklace here. Look how much melee evasion I'm getting off of it. And look how much strength I'm getting off of it. And it's not even max level 9 yet. At level 9, I get even more evasion and more strength. So you're going to be wanting to hunt those items that give you that. Look, the Assassin's Cloak here. I'm getting the critical hit 115, but I'm getting 130 melee evasion. So that's what you're looking for, guys, early on. And then as time passes, you can get items that give you the base stats that you're trying to build your stat page for end game. But early on, please do yourself a favor and get items that have like evasion and hit like that. Okay. Trust me, you'll thank me later. But that's how the stats work. The more you have of one, the better you're going to do against someone who's got the other. So melee hit 460, melee evasion 534. If I was attacking this guy with melee evasion 534 with 460, I would not be able to hit him as much because his melee evasion is higher than my hit. That's how it works in this game. And it works like that for range and magic. They're all the same. They all have different stats. Same thing with crit. So melee crit hit. So increases the chance of melee attacks landing as critical hits and dealing the max damage. If your stat is higher than the target's melee endurance, for every 10% of the difference, critical hit rate increases about 1%. As the difference increases, efficiency decreases. So critical hit is what your max damage is. So whatever your max damage is, that's what your critical hit is. A lot of people think that critical hit is that heavy attack. It's not. Critical hit is max damage. So the more endurance you have, the less someone is going to critical hit you. That's how it works. So melee hit, evasion, critical hit, endurance. That's why late game in tier 2, everyone is not running evasion anymore, because by then everyone has a lot of hit. So you're going to get hit no matter what. Now it's building more endurance. Now it's like, okay, I'm going to get hit. Okay, I know I'm going to get hit. I need to build defense against it. So that's why they're building more endurance late game. And endurance does the exact opposite of the critical hit. It's going to make it so that when they hit you with critical hit, when they hit you with the max damage, it's not going to be as much damage. That's what endurance does. Okay. Skill damage boost it's kind of like a multiplier. It increases the damage and recovery from skills. For every 10%, chance increases about 1%. So it's skill damage boost is going to boost how much more all your skills are doing. So you definitely want any accessory that you can get with this, you're going to want it on there. I think my rings have it here. Yeah, skill damage boost, I only have 20 on there. But this one has 60. So you can see here, I maxed out the skill damage boost there, which is going to help me do more damage, more DPS overall. Now coming down to melee heavy attack chance, mine's at 528, increases the chance to deal double damage with melee heavy attacks. If your stat is higher than the target's melee heavy attack chance, melee heavy attack evasion, for every 10% of the difference, increase the chance about 1%. As the difference increases, efficiency decreases. So melee heavy attack, I've got 528, which means about 52%, roughly almost 53% chance that I'm going to hit someone with melee heavy attack. Now, if they have 0 melee heavy attack evasion, that means that I'm going to have roughly a 53% chance per attack to actually hit a melee heavy attack. Now, if they've got 428 melee heavy attack evasion, then I'm only going to have a 10% chance to hit a melee heavy attack. Because remember, for every 10 points, you're getting 1%. So for every 100 points, you're getting 10%. So if they've got 428, you just subtract 428 from 528, that's 10%. I'm going to have a 10% chance to hit them. That's how it works. Same with magic heavy attack and range heavy attack. So I've got about a 38% chance to actually magic heavy attack something, which is about a 1 in 3 chance to do it. So let's see if I can land a heavy attack on here. And you'll know when it's heavy because it'll say it'll say a 2x. See, that was a 2x. That was a 2x. Let's see if I can hit it there. That was not a heavy. That was not a heavy. That was not a heavy either. One of those was a heavy. See, so I'm not heavying there, but let's go melee. See, heavy attack, heavy attack. See, I have more melee heavy, so I'm landing those heavy attacks more. And all it is double damage, guys. So if you hit someone for 6,000 and you hit a heavy, you actually hit them for 12,000. So melee heavy, ranged heavy, and magic heavy are the three best, in my opinion, the best stats you can get in the game. That was a heavy right there. So you can see here, you can stack a lot of DPS on someone by landing those heavies really, really quickly. So you're going to want as much heavy as you can. And I wanted to show you guys something here while I'm doing this. On my 2 Big Thunder Assault, I only have 20% heavy attack chance right now. What I'm going to do for you guys is show you how you can increase that. Right there, my magic heavy is only 378. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the auction house. Okay, and we are going to look for a heavy attack chance, the cheapest ones that I can find. Right here, L'Aquarius Grip 103. I'm gonna buy one. I'm gonna buy another one. I'm gonna buy another one right here, the bow. Boom, bought the bow too. Okay, so now if you press the period button, you can come up here to trait. I can click the bow, and you can see here on the heavy attack, I have all of these weapons here that'll add another proc of heavy attack chance. So let's go ahead and add it. It's gonna cost 75 gold, 75k gold. There's one. I'm gonna add the last one here. There it is. So now when I go here and I look at my weapon, you can see here I've got heavy attack chance 60, but I want to max it out. So let's go and max it out one more time, and let's see if I can go and hit it and get lucky with you know what? I'm just gonna use my blessings. It's fine, because I'm not gonna use my my blessing anywhere else. I've got 924 blessings. You can see here my enchant is going to be 20%, but if I do this, I actually get 100% chance to hit the blessings, or at least I should be getting 100% chance. So let's go ahead and see if I can actually proc this here. So yeah, it's going to give me a proc. So let's go here, and there it is. I just used my blessings, but it's all good. I wanted to do it for the video, and now you can see here I've got 80 on here. I had 20 before, now I have 80. Let's go back to my stat page here really quick, and let's take a look at what it's showing. Now I'm at 438. So now I have even more heavy attack chance that I had before on my magic. So technically I should be doing more heavy attacks, but again, it is RNG, but in theory I should be doing more heavy attacks with my magic. You can see there, it's a lot of damage, guys. You do a lot of damage as staff dagger, but it's the same with pretty much any character that you make. If you've got the heavy attack there, it's going to be doing massive heavy attack damage, and you're going to be able to nuke your character, nuke your enemies down much quicker. So carrying on, that's how the heavy attack works. And then you guys know how the evasion works, how the endurance works. Skill damage resistance, it's the same thing. It decreases damage taken from skills. So the more skill damage resistance, just the more defense you're going to have. For every 10% at 10 points, chance is going to increase 1%. DR is very similar. It's a base damage reduction. So the more DR you have, the more base damage you take less. So if someone's going to hit you for 100 and you have damage reduction at 15, they're actually going to hit you for 85. That's how that works. Debuff duration, pretty straightforward. If you're poisoned or you got some kind of debuff on you, that duration is going to last that much, 1.5% less longer. And then obviously all these stats are pretty straightforward. Max health is going to show you your max health, max mana, your stamina, your mana cost efficiency. So the more efficient you are, the more you can stretch out your mana, pretty much. It gives you your movement speed, your heal of your Amatoi, obviously your health regen, mana regen, stamina regen, cooldown speed. So if you're going up wisdom here, the CDR is going to be increasing, your attack speed as well. And then these are all like your other stats here that show like your sleep chance, your weaken chance, stun chance, things like that. All of this isn't really used right now. It's all zeroed out. So nothing really there. These are just like random stats here. Your XP bonus based on your Amatoys that you have. Item chance, if your Amatoys give you item chance. Mastery bonus here, Solent bonus, and then contract token efficiency bonus. But that is pretty much the stats, guys. That's how you want to build the stats. Build these stats. Like know where you want to go before, like even if you're level 1 and you don't have any of these stats, just know that, hey, I do want 50 strength. Okay, well then go for items that give you strength so that you can get to that 50 strength sooner. Oh, okay, I need dexterity, I need 50 because I want to be really fast and I want to have a lot of movement speed. Okay, get items that give you dex. Okay, and it's the same thing with wisdom and perception. If you know you need hit, you're missing a lot of people, then get items that are going to give you perception. Okay. Like Thorny Edge is a great dagger early on. You get it from the dungeons. It's going to give you 6 perception, and you know, you need it. Perception is one of those things that you need to have. It's probably between perception and strength. They're both equally as like important. Strength probably is a little bit better just because it's going to give you that 100% extra chance of heavy attack. And remember, it's heavy attack chance, not melee heavy attack chance. So it's giving you a heavy attack chance for bows, it's giving you heavy attack chance for melee, and it's giving you heavy attack chance for staff, for magic. So it's giving you flat across. It's not just melee attack chance, which makes strength, I think, number 1 prio, strength, number 2 perception, number 3 dex. That's my opinion. Other people may have different opinions on that, but if you're watching the video, that's what I suggest. Play with it, see what you guys like, see what works for you. But prio, if you're DPS strength, then into perception, and then into dex, because there's no point having all this damage, all this max damage and minimum damage and heavy attack if you can't land your damage on someone. So strength, perception, dex, and then wisdom if you need wisdom for a little bit more mana. Like me, I've got an extra 750 mana. That is what I would recommend, guys. That's the video. I just wanted to show you guys really what the stats are, how they work, how you want to build, and what you're looking for early on and late game, and how those stat differences change between early and late. Early, it's evasion. Late game, it's endurance. That's how it was in my server. That's how the big dogs did it. In your server, it may be a little bit different. It may be different. Maybe early on it's endurance and later it's evasion. I don't know. It's going to be depending on what your server is doing, but that's kind of my tip on the stats and what you guys should work on and what you guys should prioritize. Okay. Whether you're playing tank, whether you're playing DPS or healer, those stats apply to pretty much everyone. They all kind of build the same, but just a little bit of tweaks on the armors and the weapons that you use. That's going to be different. So depending on what those are going to depend on which stats are your end game stats, which stats you're going to level up first, and which stats are going to be the highest stats out of them all. But ultimately, it's, in my opinion, again, for a final time, it's going to be strength, it's going to be your perception, and then it's going to be your dex. Hope you guys liked the video. Hope the stat video helped you guys out and you guys took something from it and found value in it. Let me know if maybe you guys are running something different, or if you guys maybe disagree with what I'm saying or agree with what I'm saying. I'm curious on what you guys are building and things like that. And I know, again, it's different in every server. So, just have fun with it, tweak around, play with it. You can reset your stats. It doesn't cost that much money. So you can literally reset your stats as much as you want and go from there. But that's the video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you guys liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button. It helps me out tremendously. I've had so much support with the open beta. I've had so many people DM me on Discord about how my videos are helping them out. So I'm super humbled. And I'm really enjoying the fact that I'm able to help people out and enjoy the game better. So yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. I appreciate it. If you guys want to see more videos, smash that sub button. It's going to help me out big time. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.